What's up, peeps? It's your boy Jay, and there is a new monk rotation that is flowing around Final Fantasy, and it's right here. I'm gonna throw it up here somewhere. And the rotation consists of using nothing but Dragon Kick, with the exception of re-putting on your damage buff and re-putting on your dot while weaving your perfect balances and your riddle of fires into your rotations. Uh and like at first I thought this was like one of the biggest memes. I thought it was like a big meme thing. I was like, oh, this is meme cool. But it's not. It's legit a rotation. And doing this rotation, if you do it completely, actually only negates like 100 damage total. Like there are people parsing 98s because the hundreds you can get, the highest you can get in the parse is 100. There are people that's parsing 98 with this rotation, and that's terrifying because there's a couple of issues I have with this rotation, right? Like it kind of just takes away the fun of Monk. You're legit pushing one button over and over and over again. Also, like the whole like reform identity of like going through your rotations just doesn't exist. You just focus on doing one button, reapplying some buffs. Like you really focus on one chain of your rotation, right? Dragon Kick, Twin Snakes, and Demolish is the only buttons that you focus on. You just do Dragon Kick until you need to throw on the Twin Snakes, until you need to throw on a Demolish, and then you go through your burst phase. Obviously this is nothing against somebody who figured this out, but I think it shows that the numbers for Monk could, as far as damage and stuff, could be tweaked and remodeled in a way that that doesn't allow this, because when Monk first came out, this idea actually was pushed out before. Like this isn't the first time this idea has come to surface, but it is the first time that this idea has worked in a way that shows that like this is a very viable rotation. And if you're new to Monk and you see this can turn you off like pretty heavily, because then like Monk becomes even more simplified in the sense that like I'm just pressing Dragon Kick until I need to re-put on my buffs. I even though this rotation can do really well in raids, I personally won't be using it just because like I enjoy the whole like switching through my abilities. Like I enjoy the fun of the mechanic of I enjoy the fun of how Monk is created. But but people have been pinging me about this rotation and asked me what I think about it. I think the rotation is trash. And I mean that in the most respectful way. Is that like I think this rotation just doesn't look fun. And I say that like I think Monk is fun. I play Monk because it's fun. It's a very busy class. It requires me to, switch between my buttons. It requires me to do things that like other classes just feel slow about doing. Especially with the removal of positionals, like I can kind of just wild out for the most part, and it's just a fun, like quick fight experience. Where this rotation it makes me want to go to sleep. I feel like this rotation is probably how some summoners feel, whereas like it's they oversimplified the class. I've had people who in my comments and also in my conversations that they have stopped playing summoner because it's just too simplified, right? Like it's too easy. And if this rotation becomes the way to go, what does that do for Monk? So and when Monk was reworked, people always talked about how Dragon Kick's number was the highest hitting one, and why wouldn't you just repeatedly use Dragon Kick? So now we're seeing that argument come to fruition because there was no like statistical error, statistical data that showed that just using Dragon Kick can be actually a viable way, and now we're seeing that. So I think Yoshi P might have to go back into the lab a little bit and dab with these numbers, because if I start seeing monks just Dragon Kicking their way to success, I'm gonna Dragon Kick all of you. gonna dragon kick all of you. No, I just playing. I love you guys. But I just don't want this. I generally don't want this to be a thing. People ask me, so here, this is my feelings. I don't want this to be a thing because I don't know where you go with. I don't know where Monk goes from here, and I don't feel like I don't want to see Monk get completely reworked again. At some point, I want to just enjoy the class and stop playing the new class year expansion. So if you want to check out this rotation, give it a shot. Let me know what you think. I'm never going to touch this rotation. I don't care if this rotation becomes the meta of Monk. You will not see Jay Dragon Cake 4,200 times. I'll just be a basic Monk at that point. Cause I'm doing my rotation because I play Monk for fun. I ain't playing Monk to Dragon Kick somebody into a coma. So, check it out. Let me know what y'all think. I don't know. The patch 6.1 patch notes and the live letter came out, so we'll drop a video on that. And please for the love of monks, do not use this rotation. I mean, if you do, go for it, but don't.